We just got a new salvage ship from RSI. This one is super small. It only has 6 ACUs, but it's called the Salvation. In this video, I'm going to give it a first look. I'll also give you a loadout and then we can do some salvaging to see if it's any good. You can see here it's a very small ship. Also little weapons. I think that also size 1. Nothing too crazy. It has some weapon racks here. Pretty decent. 2 weapon racks, I believe. On the other side is also 1. So you can put lots of weapons. Maybe you find something out in space and you can put it there. The components is also on the outside. This is the fuel port, I believe. Pretty decent. Here we have a stepping ladder, I believe. Not sure if we can get on. So we can get on. And I believe we have lots of components on here. We'll take a look at the components once I'm inside. I can just open up everything. So I don't have to open up it individually. Take a look at this side. We should have storage somewhere as well. Maybe here. Here is our storage, about 900k. That's small ACUs, so not even 1 ACU, I believe. It's nothing too crazy. Also a stepping ladder here, just to get on top. Fix your own ship. At the back here is where the magic happens. This is where you store your cargo. After salvaging, this is about 6 ACUs. And it all comes out at the back here. We'll take a look at it in a minute. But let's get into the cockpit here. To enter, you just go to the front. And this will just fold open for you. So very easy to enter. No ladders. Just get in the seat and you're good to go. Once inside, you can see it has a very good view. Very easy. Let me activate the salvagers. Gimbal it. It's very easy to see, not too crazy. Let me put this back. We'll salvage in a minute just to see how everything works. 6 ACUs is not a lot, but this is a starter. In total, you can probably hold about 12 ACUs. 6 in the cargo hold and 6 on the grid. For the exterior here, let's open up all the component bays and see where they are located. So for the components, there's one cooler on top that I can see. A shield on the side, so a small shield, a quantum drive. Don't see anything at the bottom. There's also a fuse box. At the back, I don't see anything. Let's turn around. On the side here is the power plant. And maybe another shield that I can't see at the moment. But all of the components is basically on the exterior. I did customize my ship. I have full stealth components. Let me quickly share the build with you before we go salvage. So for my build, I just customized it just a little bit to optimize it for stealth. Just because our ship is so small, we're usually probably not going to fight with it. But I did put upgrades on it for the salvage arms. These are usually the best for salvage at the moment. To upgrade 2 of those, I went with full stealth shields here, cloak. I just bought everything at Cousin Crow's. All that you need to do is head over to Artisan and go to Cousin Crow's. And all of these components you can buy there. They're very convenient. Also a Delta Max for the power plant, a vapor block for our cooler, and then finally for our quantum drive, just a Zephyr. So super easy to get. Just go to Cousin Crow's. It's located at Artisan and buy a couple of things. Here is our signature. I try to keep it as low as possible. And our cross section is quite big, 7.3. Well, it's the biggest, but it also depends on which direction you're facing. You're also able to power everything. Now that you know the build, let's go salvage something so that you can see this thing in action. I think the best place to use this little ship is maybe around space stations, where we can salvage a couple of ships here and there. Small cargo bay, so we can just unload as soon as we're full. Let's go see if we can find any. Seems like I already found a little ship in space here. Let's go give it a scan and then we can see if we can salvage it. Before we salvage the ship, it's very important to scan it, otherwise we might get a crime stat. So I'm just going to press V, hover over it and click. Let's take a look if this thing has been abandoned. At the moment we can't really tell if this thing has been abandoned. Usually it will say game rules, but at the moment it only says unknown. So let me see if I get a crime stat if I try to salvage this. I'm just going to press M here to activate salvage mode. Luckily, it's very easy to salvage with this. No crazy keybinds. The regular salvage is just click. Does seem like it might be friendly. Let's take a look here. I'm just going to click activate my gimbals by pressing G. It goes pretty fast. I have upgraded to a bridge. This should go pretty fast. Actually not super tedious at all. Sometimes salvaging can be super slow. This time around seems pretty fast. We might also break this thing into little pieces in a minute here. Let me scrape everything. Then we can quickly take care of this. Hopefully we can fill our cargo hold as we go. So far not too bad. I'm just holding Z and looking around as I salvage. The top part is finally done here. Let's do the bottom. I'm just going to rotate. Here we go. We're at the bottom. I'm going to activate my lasers again and quickly clean everything up. Now that we completely salvaged most of the ship, you can see we've got about 2.5 ACUs. Not sure if the cargo went into the cargo bay there, but let's see if we can eject it into our little bay. Here on the right hand side is the ejection button. So let's just eject it. I'm going to hit auto as well. So filling boxes. Let's take a look at the back here. You can see it's putting it on the cargo grid. We should have about 2 ACUs worth. Wonder how long this takes. There we go. There's the next one. So quickly filling it up for us. Now that we have everything in the cargo hold, let's see if we can fracture the ship. I'm just going to press Alt W to enter our fraction mode here. But it does say power on. And I am clicking. It's doing nothing. Let me right click. Also doing nothing. Maybe I need to go put the power off first. So let me just exit salvage mode here. Luckily, might be super easy. We can just get out of our cockpit here by holding Y. Very loud since the salvage is on. But let me go see if I can turn everything off. Maybe the power needs to be off first before we can do anything. Does seem like this is somebody's property, so we might get a crime stat. There we go. Turn everything off. I just hit U. Maybe now we can salvage it. Maybe not the best idea because this is private property. But for the video, might as well. Now that the power is off, you can see we can break this little Intrepid into little pieces. Let me just see what we can do here. I'm just gonna left click and let the circle fill. Might take a minute. Super close. There we go. Into a million little pieces. Might be able to scrap a little bit more here. Let me just see. It definitely seems like I can scrape some of these pieces again. So pretty decent. Let me see if I can fill up my cargo hold. I mostly got everything done here. But we still need to test out the disintegration part. So let's see if we can disintegrate all of these little pieces here. So I'm just going to Alt W. And then left click and then right click. Here you can see the ACU amount of picking up all these little pieces. I'm just going to quickly clean everything up here. You can see the bars are slowly filling as we're going to disintegrate it and put it into our cargo hold. Super easy to clean everything up. Not too bad. Plus we're doing the servers probably a favor. There we go. That's most of the ship. I think there's a little bit more left. I'm also going to clean it up as well. That should be everything. Now, we can go sell the boxes we do have. I'm not going to refine the cargo. You can just go to any L1 station. For example, if I open up my Mobi here, you can just head over to crew L1 here. If you want to refine the little bits and pieces we just picked up, but for regular boxes that we just scrape the hull off, we can just sell that directly, I believe. Let's go to Grim Hex and just quickly sell everything. Let's see if we can take the cargo off the back here. I'm just going to deploy. Now we should be able to take everything off pretty easily. I'm very happy that I angled it like this. Makes it a lot easier. Got about 4 boxes, I believe. It's not the craziest amount from one little ship, but at least we got to test out the little ship here. Let's send it down, and then we can head over to the office to see how much money we made with only 4 boxes. Seems like only 3 boxes were recycled material, and the other one was construction rubble, which we will need to go refine, I believe. But in total, we made about 15,000, so not too crazy, but you might be able to make a little bit more since you can get about 12 SEUs of that. Overall, I think it's a good little ship as a starter. You won't make a crazy amount of money, but as a stepping stone, pretty decent. I hope you enjoyed this first look. If you did, consider subscribing. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.